Shout it out, y'all. We locked in. How's everybody doing out there? I'm your host, Moshe Canty. Mikey B and KK, they both should be here shortly. I'm glad to have you joining us today for our fourth installment of Spiritual Empowerment Sundays. I hope that today, you guys can be able to gain some benefit from it. That's what the ultimate objective is, that when we listen to our live episodes, that we're going to be able to gain something from it. I'll wait for a few more of you guys to pull up so that we can begin our discussion on what today's topic is, which the title, as you see, is on who are your companions. This is a very important subject, one that doesn't really get too much attention. Perhaps it's ignored, but for the most part, it's something that we should definitely take into consideration. John Shaft, 139, I see you. The Hereford Podcast, I see you. Wa alaikum salam. Akhi, how are you doing? Let's just wait for everybody to start pulling up, because as I stated, man, this is a very, very important topic that we should definitely lend credence to. We don't want to ignore it, because perhaps it can be to our detriment, to our own peril, that we're like literally ignoring like invaluable information that's being conveyed on this podcast. Sometimes it's hard Jamel Saladin, how you doing, my brother? Salute to you, my brother. Sometimes, man, in the world that we're living in today, unfortunately, it's hard to be able to distinguish between that which is real and that which is authentic. We see it happening every day right before our very eyes. Sometimes it's just really, really difficult for us to be able to weed out, as they say, the BS. We have a tendency at times to kind of gravitate and hold on to that which is not really beneficial for us. We have this fascination with just holding on to that which could be harmful to us. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself included. So first and foremost, I'm not trying to point fingers at anybody in particular. For the most part, when I'm speaking directly to myself first and foremost. Being that you guys are out there, listening to what I'm saying, obviously, you have to take what I'm saying into consideration and see whether or not if it applies to you. If it doesn't, then, you let it go over your head. But I believe that our conversations are so universal in nature that they afford each of us the opportunity to be able to apply it to ourselves. So when we ask the question of who are our companions, I think it's a universal question. I think it's a fair question because, it's not pointing the finger at anybody in particular but myself. But at the same time, I think we all can ask ourselves that general question. It's something that, when you look at your life, you can say, well, in this case, Moshe is directly making reference to me. And you have to be harsh. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. And you have to ask yourself, who are your companions? Who are the people that you have in your life on a daily basis? Peace, blessings, and tranquility, sister. Love you. So it's a general question, but it's a fair question as well, right? Like, we are supposed to have people in our lives that we can gain, benefit from, that we can learn things from as well. So, ask yourself these questions, like generally, like you have to be brutal. Why is this person in my life? Who is this person in my life? Am I gaining benefit for having this person? My brother, it's always a pleasure. What's up, Conrad? How you been?
Great, bro. Great weekend. Just chilling in the house with wifey. It's raining, about to clean up. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying it. You know what I mean? Good day.
I know you mentioned that earlier when I was speaking to you. You and your wife was talking about how it was supposed to be raining and stuff like that. But I mean, what time is it supposed to stop?
It's going to be off and on for a little while, probably all day. You know what I mean? But she loves the rain. She wants to go on like raincations in other places and do stuff like that. Okay. She loves the rain. You know what I mean? Well, she loves the rain.
Send her my love, man.
Yeah, you know that.
So I want to first and foremost thank you, man. For everybody that doesn't know, if this just happens to be your first time pulling up, hey, what's up, Shane? What's up, sis? If this show happens to be your first time pulling up, this is my brother, my co-host Mikey B, and I'm your co-host Moshe. And what we do on a daily basis is we come up with these ideas and these concepts as to how we can kind of further the conversation on what could be benefit to us as a community. And one of the ideas that we came up with as a group, and I credit my brother here, Mikey B, with throwing it into the pot, was that he was like, "Yo, we want to start giving you guys some content on Sundays that can be more fruitful for our spiritual development and evolvement." Because what happens a lot of times is that we focus on the physical. You might see us taking care of our physical health, right? Which is a great thing. Even many of us, we might be taking care of our financial situation where we're talking about getting to the bag and stuff like that. And we might even be talking about mental health and things like that. But um, all too often, what happens a lot of times is that we ignore the spirit. We ignore the essence of who we are, because the physical, the finances, all this stuff is going to go. This stuff is going to just literally vanish. But what's going to remain is going to be the spirit, right? So we try to kind of tap into that to get a better understanding of, how this can be empowered, so that it can kind of, balance out every other aspect of who we are, right? So in saying that, we wanted to kind of have these installments on a weekly basis to help give us something to think about. Today, as I mentioned prior to my Mikey getting his, the conversation is about, who are your companions? Who are the people that you have in your life? This is a question that everybody should be asking themselves. I don't care if this companion is a significant other, your wife, your husband, your so-called friends, your associates, just among others, right? Who are the people that you have in your life on a daily basis? Because ultimately, these are your companions, right? These are the individuals who are in your company, and you have to ask yourself: having these individuals in your life, are they of benefit to you, or are they of detriment to you? Are they encouraging you to be your best, or are they discouraging you from being the best, or are they encouraging you to do wrong and discouraging you to do right? So we want to have this conversation today, and we want to use. I want to personally use the Noble Quran, and the reason why I want to use this Noble Quran is because I want to be able to use many of the prophets and messengers that preceded us, and I want to use their stories and their examples to show how in their time they had the companions that were helping them do the jobs that they needed to do, jobs that I might add is quite more difficult than what any of us are probably faced with today. And they needed the best companionship to be able to help them fulfill those tasks. Um, Mikey, what's up? You got anything you want to say regarding that, my brother?
Now you doing great, bro. I like to just sit back and listen. We great students, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm-hmm.
just spirituality in general. A lot of people don't have a good handle on it. And like we said in other lives and other shows on spirituality, they definitely don't know how to strengthen it. And the reason why, we fall short and can't get a lot of things done in our lives is because, we lack that spiritual strength. And in times of need, um, it comes to us. It's passed down. We're blessed with it. Um, we just happen to be blessed. You got to remember, we were blessed from what we went through, bro. The struggle that we went through. Um, One of my lawyers just told me I should just write a book on dealing with stress and how we overcame the stress of smiling and coming out of prison and all that we came through and coming back with our mindsets. And that's a blessing from the Most High right there, to have the mindsets we have coming out of prison. And that's the testament to the strength of our spirit that we were blessed with. So,
And I use the term co-host a lot when I'm talking about my, obviously because we're in this professional space. We like to look at ourselves as, I mean, we can call ourselves bloggers, we can call ourselves journalists. We would probably, you know, adhere to all of those definitions, right? Terminologies of who we are, right?
bloggers.
Right? And that would be the truth, right? And a lot of times what happens is that we do ourselves a disservice Hey, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How you been, man?
Tired, alhamdulillah, man. Just running around trying to get this stuff done for that event, man. You know what I'm saying? I met with a brother from Connecticut today. He was flying back. He was flying back out from Georgia to go, um, back to his home state. But making stuff done. I just got the ticket link, so hopefully tomorrow, someone will be putting out the tickets. First 50 free. We doing. Got vendors and stuff lined up so they can tune in. People can call them. Once I send a link, the ticket link, everything is in there. So you hit the link, go on there, see the price range, and just purchase ticket, do whatever you need to do through there.
My
Um,
my beautiful brother is moving and elevating. See, no matter what, we coming out that dark place, but yet we found some light. I was just talking about how I use the term co-host, blogger, journalist, whatever, and
yeah,
in describing, you guys, but we are companions of one another, and we hold each other to account. And obviously, what the definition and what the question is asked on today's episode is, who are your companions, and why is that important? And I think it's important to be able to use these historical references and even the people who are in your life today, to ask that question. Now, I'll bring it up to the present to speak about Mikey B and KK, as I'm sure that they will probably reference me as well. But I want to kind of mention something because I mentioned the Quran, and the first thing I want to speak about are there were people who came on this earth who preceded our very existence today. Some of those came hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. I'm sure everybody in here has heard about the Prophet Moses. The Prophet Moses was a very unique individual in history because he had a task that he was given. And one that task was being able to speak to a tyrant of his era. In this case, a leader of a nation who ruled the earth at the time. And I think it's important that we have a little bit of backdrop on that story because in this case, this leader, he was so threatened by the men in his presence was that he was literally killing off all the men,
yeah,
all the babies, like literally knocking off all the babies so that there would not be anybody who would pose a threat to his very existence. And he was a he was a tyrant. He was an oppressor of the land, so much so that he told his people that I am your Lord. Like when you worship me, right? Worship me, praise me, give me all of the praise and the acknowledgement. The food you eat, the little bit of meager resources you have is a direct result of me. This is what their leader, the Pharaoh of that time, was stating. Moses in this case, Musa, as we say in Arabic, he was given a task. He was given a task to go speak to this leader and to call him to the worship of the creator, of the one creator of the heavens and the earth. Um, and Moses struggled with this. He was afraid. He couldn't really articulate his words because he had a speech impediment. Um, and he didn't know how to articulate what needed to be done. So imagine in his position being commanded by God, the Most High, Allah in this case, and telling him to go speak to Pharaoh and let Pharaoh know that he is not who he says he is, and that he is supposed to worship Allah and to stop oppressing his people. So Moses, and I quote it, and I'm so just so you know, I'm gonna put this in the chat for you guys. If you guys do not have knowledge about the Quran, you guys do not have knowledge about the Bible, you do not have knowledge about any of the books that we speak about on this platform, it's our responsibility to provide some clarity so that nobody is confused. And in this, we go to Surah 20, or in this case, chapter 20, verses 24 through, I'll say 32. All right. And I'm going to read this. I'm not going to read the Arabic. I don't want to confuse anybody, so I'll just simplify it and just read the English and then kind of provide you guys with a verbatim account of not so much a verbatim account, but a breakdown of each verse. Um, so in verse 24, we see Moses being asked or being commanded in this case by Allah, by God, to go to Pharaoh. Verily, he has transgressed all bounds in disbelief and disobedience, and has behaved as an arrogant tyrant. Then he says, Moses said to Allah, he says, "Oh my Lord, open for me my chest," meaning He wanted to be self-confident and content and bold. So this is an example that when we want something from the Creator, and Mikey, I know you can relate to this, that when you're in a dark place, or even when you're not really confident, that it's all right if you believe in the Most High, to call upon the Most High and say, can you give me the strength and the confidence and the contentment to be able to overcome these challenges, because I'm afraid I have these concerns that I might not be able to fulfill what it is that I'm asked to do or what I have to do, right? So it's all right for you to pray for that. It's nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, let me raise my hands to the sky and call upon the Creator and say, this is what I need, because I don't know if I do this, I'll be able to carry out that task. Have you ever, Mikey, been faced with something of that nature where you did not necessarily, I'm not saying you didn't believe in yourself, but you might have not necessarily believed that you can do it without the Most High, and you needed His help to do it?
Yeah, man. Dealing with a lot of stuff with prison, especially coming out of prison to be where I'm at today. It took me to say, yo, I need help with this. You know what I'm saying? I need help with this because, towards the end of my bid, they say things are darkest before the dawn, and it got hectic. And I knew in the position that I was in that it was either be here for the rest of my life or humble myself to the situation and let God lead me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I did in the case. You see what I'm saying? And this is when I really found and understood love towards, like, people don't understand, like, when it comes down to it, bro, like, we did time, I got hit at parole boards. But every day of my prison bid till I walked out was a test of my will. It was a test of my spiritual strength. It was a test of my freedom to come home. And I had some real mental fights, some spiritual fights, and some cleaning up. I had a lot of cleaning up to do, but I definitely did ask. You see what I'm saying? That I definitely did ask the Most High to give me power in them times and give me the strength, because I knew, up until a certain point in my bid, all of my wars was met with violence. I won on a physical level. I was built, you know what I'm saying? I'm nice with my hands. And I was a warrior. I had a warrior spirit. But I had to understand that my warrior spirit could do better for my peoples in other ways. And that as a leader, that everything is not going to be done. Violence is a small percent of it. I knew that from the beginning. But coming out and dealing with situations from a different perspective, and everybody coming out a winner, is how I dealt with stuff and that came from a spiritual level. Like one of the books that I always talk about, I actually got the book when I was in Southport, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
Great book.
And during that time, I got that. This is how the Most High works. He gives you stuff, but it's up to you to open it up and really look at what you got and really use it. And I really used it. I really used it to move on and, to change my life and to change how I was dealing with these circumstances and situations that I was in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, that was a huge thing for me, bro. So it definitely helped me. It definitely helped me, bro. And being in contact and knowing I needed spiritual assistance. And I went to the Bible. I didn't just go to the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. At that same time, I was heavily reading the Bible, studying every night. I got stuff on my wall that I'm reading every morning on positive affirmations. And what this live is basically about, the people I kept around me at that time. The people I kept around me at that time was like the major part of my success. People that wanted to see, better for me, people that wanted to see me do good, people that gave me information on spiritual enlightenment, people that, wanted to see me out here with my family, you know what I mean? So, and that's a whole different type of individual. You know what I mean? Sometimes we look at guys and be like, yo, he's a bozo, he's a buster. You know what I mean? But you know, they might have the best information for you at a given chance. And you know, the Most High is sending this person into your life for a reason. Just like right now, with all this stuff going on YouTube, we are speaking on this on a Sunday. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It all works. It all works in a circle. And everything you could be doing or looking at right now, you getting the information from dudes that had checkered backgrounds, right? We gotta admit we had hard lives growing up, you know? But now we are here talking about spiritual enlightenment. So that's a whole mega move in itself, bro.
So, you know, and I know I'm eventually get to KK real quick. So I know that, you know, I felt the same way at many different points. Whether I remember feeling really in a dark place, and this after my sister died in a car accident tragically back in 1999. I was like really like at a dark place, and I didn't know what to do. I got to the point, Mikey, I was just like, yo, you know, I don't even want to be here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that type of pain going on. You know what I mean? Like, really questioning my very existence. And I was really struggling, like emotionally, psychologically. It was a lot going on, and I needed help. And the help that I was looking for, people couldn't really give me, right? They could give me the emotional, the moral upliftment, but the type of spiritual help that I needed, that upliftment, can only come from the Most High. So, you know, even when you're doubting yourself, you're having that lack of self-confidence within yourself, it's all right to submit and say, I need help. And this is what Moses did. So let me keep reading real quick before I pass it to KK, right? So not only did he ask that his chest be opened up, but he also asked that his task be made easy for him. That his task be made easy for him. So a lot of times we go into a matter and we don't realize how difficult a task may be. We do know that it's going to be challenging. It's going to be a burden. However, it's all right for us also to ask that a task or whatever that task may be made easy for us too. So not only is he acknowledging the fact that, in this case, Moses, acknowledging the fact that he needs self-confidence to do the task, he's also asking Allah in this case for the task to be made easy. And I mentioned that Moses had a speech impediment when he was young. He had a piece of firebrand that was put into his mouth, and that made speaking difficult for him. So he can talk, but he spoke with an impediment. And that's why he asked Allah in this case to loose the knot that was in his tongue. Like, how is he going to be able to speak and be taken seriously if he's known as the guy who's stuttering and who has an impediment? So he asked also that his impediment be made easy for him. And he said that they may understand my speech. So Moses was like, not only do I need confidence, not only do I need self-contentment, not only do I need my task to be made easy for me, but I also need, you know, to loose the knot in my tongue so that I'll be able to convey exactly what it is that you need me to convey. Because think about the power of your words, that the power we have in conveying our words, that if there's an impediment, sometimes it can hamper the message from being embraced. So he wanted that to be made clear. He didn't want any ambiguity regarding that, right? And this is where it gets important, and I want everybody to understand that this is in chapter 20 of the Quran, verse 29. The first important part about the topic of our discussion is this, where Moses asked for an helper. He said, and appoint for me a helper from my family. Appoint for me a helper from my family. So even Moses understood the value not only of his task, but he realized that he couldn't do the task alone. He couldn't go to Pharaoh and speak to him alone because he feared that he would not be able to convey the message because of his impediment. He needed somebody from his home to be able to do it. And Allah granted him that. Allah said, I mean, in this case, he said, my brother Aaron, Harun, so that it will do what? Increase my strength with him. So Moses knew that together, him and his brother Aaron would be able to go to a tyrant of the land and be able to deliver this message to him, right? And this goes back to the subject matter of what it is that we're talking about today, which is, who are your companions? Are your companions making easy the task that you are dealing with on a daily basis? Are they helping you to be able to fulfill your objectives, fulfill your goals? Are they making you stronger? This is some of the things we get from those verses right there. And then you have to ask yourself, if these individuals who are in your life are not doing that, then why do you have them in your life in the first place? All right, KK, I'll ask Mikey the question. I want to know if you want to comment on that, whether or not there was a time in your life where perhaps you might have been faced with some challenges, some struggles, some difficulty, and you called upon the law, asked the law to help make this matter easy for you, because this matter is, you're struggling with it.
Yo, you muted, bro.
Yeah, I think we put him on mute.
No, I had pressed it because I was talking, but a bunch of times. But I wanted to just finish that thought to what you were just saying about Moses and just about the companion thing, because like he had his brother. You know what I'm saying? Not only had his brother, but his brother helped him when he went out to the community. So even if those that's not don't have a Quran and you have a Bible, in the Bible it's the same thing. You go to Exodus, to Genesis, you go and you look at the story and what Moses was actually going through. I mean, he had his brother, but he was presenting things to the people. And like when you said that, just asking like for ease and help. One time I was in a box, all right, one of the times, and I felt my heart felt like it was blackening, like I was going in a real like you had mentioned a dark place. I felt like my heart was just, and I didn't like the feeling at all. I mean, I'm like, yo, what the hell is happening? Like I recognized it just from studying, from reading, and you see certain things with your own nature. And I'm like, yo, the devil is like Shaitan has to get the best of me right now. Like I'm really about to go all the way left. And the feeling of it was feeling like everything was getting dark. Like my heart didn't feel the same. How I viewed things, it was just, and I was sitting in the cell, and I was just ask. At first, I didn't know what to do. I mean, so I was asking for that some type of ease. So some told me, I guess it was a sign. Some told me like, yo, I reached out to one of my aunts, right? I had wrote a real serious letter explaining to her what was going on and how I was feeling, and that I needed to see somebody, right? So we prayed as well, was doing all that, but I guess that answer probably came through that, like, this is what you should do, because I wasn't sharing none of my pains or what I was going through with my family. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I was going through in prison, what I was going through in prison. You know what I'm saying? When I called home or called you, it was just, family's all right, everything good. We just, just actual feel good, just to get that good vibe. You know what I mean? It wasn't about nothing else. And at that point, it was just like, yo, tell somebody what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to see that. So when I reached out to her, boom, she hit me back. And it was like a week or something, a couple of days, whatever, a week, I get a visit, but it was from mad people. Mad family came up to see me. And it was like fuel that was actually needed. But I had learned the valuable lesson that, doing the type of companions that we can't do it by ourselves. And a lot of times no matter how much we try, no matter how much we study, how much time we try to put in, we're gonna go overtime. I'm gonna work extra. I'm gonna get these extra hours. I'm gonna do this. You still need someone. You still need someone. And through the example of companionship, God even showed that through like he showed that through these people. Through messages, prophets, whatever. He actually showed that to him. It's like, all right, you can't be alone singularly in doing the message or giving the message or doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're gonna need someone with you. But now the thing is finding the right people. Now, even though like I knew my aunt was the right person for that, but just so happened she wasn't the one that came up. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't the one that came up, but I know she was the right person to reach out to, because she would express that to everybody else, and it would touch the right person's ears. I mean, and it just so happened, like a whole bunch of other people came. Like, yo, man, your aunt, yo, she called, boom, boom, and I knew she would do that. So it's knowing your companions as well, and even now, I was telling Actually, bro, Waka was telling me, 'cause I'm with him right now, and actually telling him about that. We were just having that discussion, just about companions and knowing who's around you. We were just doing the office and wanting to put certificates and family pictures up, or those that's with you. Just a reminder every day of those that's really with you. And sometimes we really need that because we'll entertain the wrong individuals. You know what I'm saying? We'll give the wrong people our energy and our time. You know?
You know, and that's profound right there, right? So, you know, right, I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the world that we're living in right now. It's a superficial world. Now, don't get me wrong, the world itself is a beautiful place. However, the people within the world have made it very, very toxic. And I'm not saying that I didn't contribute to that, as you know, as well. I probably have in many regards, right? What I'm simply saying is that unfortunately, what we see with our eyes is that there is a level of superficiality when we're dealing with people, so that
Yes.
even the value of relationships no longer have their weight to them, right? It's no longer significant in that regard. It's like it appears as if, based on my experiences, and I'm sure you guys can echo that everybody has a motive. Everybody is just in your life, and if they are, they're trying to exploit you for whatever reason, if they can, for that matter, or we might be in other people's lives to exploit them as well, right? It's never a genuine relationship where I'm not seeking to gain anything from you, but I'm only trying to give you something genuinely. There's always this quid pro quo, or even the inference that, or it's implied that because I may have given you something, somehow I want something in return. And we have these relationships that don't really, they're not really, companionship is not really defined. So this is what I'm saying about, in terms of like having people in your life on a daily basis. You know, it's sometimes you can even trick yourself into thinking that a person is good, is beneficial for you, when in reality that person is doing more harm than good. Think about it, when we was banging, we were all a part of gangs. How many individuals who we knew were in our lives, did not have our best interest, but yet we still said we loved them, we still cared about them,
Yeah.
we still would be willing to sacrifice our lives, our freedom for them, but yet
Yes.
they didn't. We know that they didn't reciprocate that, but yet we still were willing to go out our ways
Or
to
didn't
prove.
respect it, didn't reciprocate it, didn't respect it neither.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying, Mikey? It was, you know, so, you know, these individuals were very detrimental to our well-being, but yet we still gave our all to them, as if these individuals saw companionship and defined it the way that we define it. So to our listeners out there, this is important for y'all as well, because you need to really, really define what companionship is to you. Because what will happen is that you can deceive yourself into believing that people who are in your lives are actually beneficial for you when they're actually more harmful to you. And that happens in what? Abusive relationships.
Yeah.
Now, we were in apart being gang members, we were in an abusive relationship,
A
being
toxic relationship,
a
right?
toxic, abusive relationship with the people who were in our lives, because while they may not have abused us physically, um, there were there was slander, there was backbiting. This was an abusive and a toxic culture. And we agreed to be in this relationship.
Yeah.
So this might not happen for people who are not a part of the gang subculture, but it might happen in the people who are in their lives, either with family members, either with people who who they interact with on a daily basis. We see this taking place in this YouTube space. And we mentioned this before
The
about,
characteristics is the same though. So
yeah, the characteristics are the same.
it's like if I know, like in prison we look at, oh, you're getting the bag or you have a position. So I know me getting close to you or doing that, I know I'm gonna gain every step of the way. So it's just like out here, if I know you're in a position of power out here, or or you're in a certain monetary position, or you know certain people, I know me being seen with you or mentioning your name, talking with you, whatever, is gonna be favorable towards me. As soon as you show that you're not interested in that or you're not giving that, as you know, you see the person is gone. Or,
Can I answer that question when y'all finish?
or they may do something sinister to try to push you out so they can get in. You know? Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that question right
yeah,
there. Who
thank
you
you for that,
go to
Mikey.
when there's nobody to trust or use what you tell them down the road for their own agenda?
That's a great question. I mean, any one of you guys can answer it. I don't have a problem answering it after you, but that's a great question.
I'm gonna
Those
just
are actually two.
I
What's
started. Go ahead, KK.
Now it just made me think about for one, y'all, right? Two, some of the brothers that be calling from the pen that's still locked up right now. And I those relationships mean so much to me because of what we actually been through and through that particular bonding. So when those phone calls come on a daily basis, their phone calls come, and they're not coming like these brothers, they're not asking for nothing. They're calling genuinely sincerely to see how am I doing, what you're doing, because they're being inspired by what I'm doing, just like I'm being inspired, you know what I'm saying, by what they're doing as well, their particular struggle and being able to fight and hold on under those particular conditions. So now, like knowing that it's genuine and sincere, we can talk about anything. I'm saying we can go in and involve about anything. One of the brothers I was on the phone with, we was actually discussing that. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna call. Man, I'm gonna make sure I call you tomorrow because you ain't." Da, da, da. I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good." He said, "Nah, I hear it in your voice." I'm gonna call. So when he called back, we finally really sit down and go and talk to. Other thing is, even though I'm married, I have a wife. Like, though with men, period, you should be able to go to, but a lot of times you may not feel comfortable going to your wife about every single thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is why you actually have those particular companions that you can actually call and go to. Like my brother Shice, that's damn. He's having Sunday dinner. He just made me think about it. He having Sunday dinner. He ain't see me in a while, and he wanted me to come over today. I just realized that. But him, that's another brother I can actually like trust with like with my life or with anything. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about picking the right people and knowing sometimes it's those around you that you may not see that actually qualifies for that, but we overlook that because it's people that probably that's tried and true around you, that's in your life that you probably don't even really call like that you've been in so many situations with. They never let you down, never did anything, but at the same token they're not going to harass you or bother you. And sometimes we don't actually cultivate those relationships like we're supposed to. Because we be into the ones that's actually wanting to be there, wanting to be close, and a lot of times those are really not the ones. You know?
Yo, the sad thing about this question is 9 out of 10 people that you meet and befriend will do that to you. We see it going on YouTube today. It's going on right now as we speak. We ain't gonna not speak around stuff. We see it going on right now. Dudes are once together, they talking about each other, they throwing mud. It's hard to find solid peoples. It's hard to find solid people. Especially in this day and age, it's a whole different cloth being made out here. Somebody got something extra on. But it's a whole thing of that's you, KK? That's your phone? All right. But it's a whole thing of that going on right now on the internet. It's hard to find solid people. The Quran, the Bible, any of these books, any religious books you go to, is going to tell you there's more no good people than there are good people. Where do you go? When nobody trusts you, go to God. You go to the Most High. That's who you can always rely on. Are there people, family members, or people that you might can rely on? But there might be that you have to be a good judge of character. Tests. And another thing about relationships too and companions, respect and trust is something that is earned. You don't just give that. People have to earn that. People should have to earn your secrets, your information. That should be something that's earned. So you are going to know who you give it to because they earned the right to be in that position in your life. They showed that they were deserving of your companionship, of your secrets, of you relying on them. That's something that, let me tell you something. Why do you think we embrace the guys that we met and we knew for all these years? Because we know they earned their respect. We know how they're going to move in a given situation for the most part. Because I've seen some guys that were supposed to be solid come out here get on the internet and everything went out the window. Facts. I have seen that. I have seen that with guys that I have known, for long periods of time. So, certain things can be questionable when the the variable change. People change with situations sometimes. So you got to be real, being solid, being a stand-up person, being a good friend, being a good brother or sister. It's hard to find in 2022. It's just hard. That's something that you really have to go into. But I'm going to let y'all brothers speak on it.
Nah, that was both what you and KK said were profound. Before I add on, if this is your first time pulling up the WeLockedN, please, man, hit the like button on your way in. Definitely, man, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell so that when we go live, you'll get those notifications. I'm your host, Moshe Canty, and I'm here with my brothers, Mikey B and KK, and we're talking today about, who your companions are and whether or not the people in your life are beneficial to you or detrimental to you. And to answer the question by Vita, ain't nothing but a G thing. First, let me just say I love the name. We love the name.
Right.
Got respect that. But who do you go to when there is nobody to trust? And I'm gonna have to echo Mikey's sentiments. What I do, and what I know my brothers do, is we call on the Creator. We have a different, KK and I, we're both Muslims, and Mikey in this case is Rasta. But we have a different way as to how we go about doing it. But we call on the same Creator for the most part. And the reality is that, there's a word in Arabic called tawakkul. Tawakkul means to have trust. When you trust or you have confidence that when you can go to Allah in the Most High in this case, and He will come through for you, and you don't have to worry about these transient beings, meaning us in this case, who, because we're flawed characters, perhaps we may fail each other, right? But when you're solid, to Mikey's point, you don't have to worry about individuals betraying your trust. And we'll get to that, because even outside of the prophet Moses, you had the prophet Isa, or in this case, the prophet Jesus. Jesus asked Allah to send him companions as well. And when this is in chapter 5, verses 110 to 116 of the Quran, I'll put it in the chat. When they mention that they themselves were by Jesus' side, and these were his disciples, Hawariyun, as they say in Arabic, right? These is companions who were strong, who were firm. These were individuals who believed right along with him, who were willing to walk that path when he was spat upon and ridiculed and looked down upon and laughed upon and things of that nature. He had people right amongst him who were willing to also risk their lives and stand firm with him. You got to be willing to stand firm. And I'll get to another prophet and messenger in a minute, inshallah. But to your second part of that, Vida, you said, or these individuals who I'm assuming you're saying those individuals who come into your life under the guise that they're trustful, but then at some point within that relationship betray that trust, because then whatever secrets that you might have shared with them, they didn't use that down the line to promote their own agenda. Mikey B just alluded to that, right? We see this taking place on YouTube, right? Individuals who quote unquote were once quote unquote friends and comrades and allies. I mean, the impression was that, everybody was all in. We're all in. We're all gonna die, and we're gonna go all out to the end together. But the reality is that, when tested with just with some of these minimal tests, people are just falling by the wayside. And the reality is that there's nothing solid. These definitions, these relationships have not been defined. So it looks really good, but this is the YouTube space that we're living in now. And we did a video on that a couple of weeks ago, which was called YouTube Friends. These are relationships on YouTube now. So we have to be mindful so as not to look at people who are on these platforms and automatically assume somehow that these relationships are anything other than just, fugazis. I'm thankful that, with KK and Mike, and we have relationships where we can speak about harsh topics. We can hold each other to account. I could go to KK and be like, yo, what the hell was Mikey talking about? Like, what the hell was that? And then come back to Mikey and be like, yo, KK and I just was trying to talk each other about what the heck you was thinking, right? And they could do the same thing with me, and I don't feel no way, right? But now we see, I don't worry about whether or not they're gonna pour any laundry out, because there's no laundry to pour out, right? What are you gonna say, right? Yo, Mo was working out, he did too many push-ups, or he prayed too much, like so I think a lot of the times what happens is that we have these, I mean, honestly, I don't even think individuals are really paying too much attention to the term companionship. Like, why are people in your life in the first place? Why? What is the purpose of it? Like, what's the real underlying objective as to why people are in your life for? You have to really critically ask those questions to yourself, man. And if individuals are potentially harming you, then that relationship, you should cut that relationship off, because that relationship is toxic. But I just wanted to say that, pardon me, you guys.
Nah, that was good, because you just added on and covered, just covered a lot, especially that particular question. So I hope she's satisfied. We answered. I hope the question was answered, and actually be able to learn something from that. But any other questions in the chat, though, make sure.
Yeah, put the question in the chat, man. I love, we love to answer the stuff, especially if it's going to give more content and more in-depth information into the topic that we're speaking on. We always go to answer y'all questions as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some are educational, spiritually uplifted. Most are entertainment purposes only. You're right. You're right. Yeah, probably very a few are educational and spiritually uplifting. But yeah, you're right. Most are entertainment purposes only. And you're right. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. You're welcome. If there's anybody else who has questions that they would like asked, because we know it's a Sunday, we don't want to hold everybody up. Hold on, let me see. At least I had a great workout today. I'm 5'11" down to 240. I'm trying to get to 200. All right, cool. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Got a lot of LGBT. Why y'all think I love Texas? We don't understand the question. What are you saying? Because
he's just making a statement.
That's a statement.
Oh, okay, that's a rhetorical. Okay, got copy. Okay, is there? All right, here goes a great question right here. I see, Mikey. Is there any given stage in your life where you feel like you learned about loyalty and brotherly love? GTM Basketball Channel, thank you for your question, man. I'll pass it to my brothers. What y'all think about that?
That's a good question. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, I think I'm telling you, like, you find out who you really are and who people really are in turmoil. When you're going through it, this is when you find out the depths of everything and everybody. Just for support when you're going through stuff. For a long time, for a large part of our lives, we were in the gang structure. So a lot of our information experiences are going to come from that. But I learned a lot of loyalty from my wife and my friends that stayed with me throughout that 25 years. My friends, actually, my guys, my dudes, Snags, T2, Webb. You hear these names, Nitty, Skane, Fly Tie. These guys were with me throughout my bid, bro. So just showing love, and it was here when I came home. My family was there. My brother, my own Nick, my brother was there. So I learned a lot from them. I learned a lot from that. And being in the thick of situations and making the right decisions on love, like being in the gang structure and still like trying to treat somebody as a brother, even though they might have did wrong or got into a situation, and you like, oh man, he, give him a pass or dealing with things from a different perspective. I definitely been through that. I've been through a lot of that, and I'm like towards the end of my bid, I had so many tests, bro. I had a major test at the end of my bid, bro. It was actually, and I think, the system plays games with us too. So the system was like trying to push a beef that was going on at the time. And I happened to fall around a brother that came up under me. You know what I'm saying? He was a younger guy out of Brooklyn. And he happened to be a little homie around me in a lot of other prisons, right? and they put me and him a few cells from each other, right? But now we're at odds. So I found out a lot about with that situation on his side, commending him, because everybody, the whole, like it seemed like the whole world was pushing for us to destroy each other. You heard? Everything was like everybody's looking. They're like, all right, this is the next big thing. These guys right here going to destroy each other. We had a great relationship up until that point. You see what I'm saying? We had a great relationship, but everything was pushing us towards that destruction, bro. And it was a major point in my life. It was a major turn. Like at earlier points in my life, I might have missed it, but I knew this was a detrimental moment in my life. I understand those moments now as adult more than I understand as a kid when I was a lot more immature, a lot more reckless, a lot more violent. But I pick up on these moments now a lot more. And with that being said, I end up walking out of that situation, both of us walking out of that situation better. And, we both free now. So, and like I said, I went into that situation with brotherly love first. You know what I mean? It was the conflict was a great conflict, bro. And I know it was a pivotal moment in my life, and I was being tested.
So Mikhail 16, he said, and I saw the Arabiya that you wrote, and so you said Indi sual, which means I have a question, and I said is'al, meaning ask your question. So you said I got Mikhail said I have got a question. Will y'all ever forgive 050, or are their true colors shown? All right, so let me answer this question. So this is a great question, right?
That is a great question,
and I'm glad that you asked that. Thank you for your question, right?
And we ain't gonna be sliding from these questions. Neither good questions.
No, this is a great question. So one of the names of we're taught in Islam that one of the names of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala is Ar-Rahman, and He's the most gracious. If anybody would like to read the surah in the Quran, it's the 55th surah in the Quran, right? So the name, Rahman means to be the most gracious, to the one who is gracious. There was nobody that we can even fathom who is more gracious, more beneficent, than more merciful than the creator of the heavens and the earth, right? The air that we breathe is a sign of his mercy. The foods that we eat, right? The fact that you have a heart in your body, the fact that there's a sun that shines on us, right? Anything you can imagine, even when you think that there is bad in your life, it's still a mercy from Allah. All right. So if you have a sickness, right? That can be good for you, because that sickness can bring about good for you as well. So, but to answer your point, right? If I am seeking mercy from the Most High for the things that I've done in my life, and I've done some things in my life, and may Allah forgive me for those things that I've done. If I am seeking mercy from my Creator, then how is it that I can't then forgive the people who are in this very life with me? So whether that be China, whether that be Mikey, whether that be the person who told on me, whether that be the person who snaked me, or whatever you can fathom, right? Quite frankly, I've had people do things to my family members, very horrible things, on a sexual and a physical side and stuff like that, right? So, would I forgiven these people? Yes. Would I forgive China? Yes. Would I forgive anybody else? Yes. And the reason why is because I want to be merciful towards others in hopes that my Lord will be merciful towards me. So I hope that answers your question. So it's nothing that he could have done on this YouTube platform. In this case, I'm talking about China, or anybody for that matter, that would rattle us to the point where at the very least we would still not try to be merciful warriors that we are, but still seeking the mercy from our Creator. And I hope that answers your question, Mikhail 16.
I love how you put that, bro. I just love how you put it, because using that particular form, just like when you want forgiveness, but then you're not able to forgive, you just like you're contradicting yourself. I mean, so you have to be willing to do that. So I appreciate that question as well. But people do have to understand that you want so many other things in your particular life, but how do you want these things to happen in your life, and you're not willing to give them, and you're not willing to do them? You may want help, you may want this, but then you're not willing to help others. Even going back to the topic of companionship, you may want that, but then the people that do make that may come into your life, you may treat them a certain type of way and push them away. I mean, so now it's just being able to see those particular dynamics on what is given. What do you want received, but what are you also giving in exchange for that? Because now there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance in that. Well, the other question that was posted on there, what was that?
Hold on, before you move on, let me answer that question on 050. Y'all see our perspective. We working in the community. We telling kids stop the violence. We speaking in churches. We speaking at all kind of. How are we gonna come up here and say, all right, China said, "F, we locked in. We're gonna kill them when I catch you." We are not hypocrites. We weren't hypocrites when we was living that lifestyle. We was on it, and now that we working out here in the community. We not hypocrites. So even with China saying that stuff, whatever he said, whatever he did, all right, that's what he do. We're not going to respond in that way, and we don't really care about that. It might be a time where y'all might see us with China again, talking with him or Harlem or whatever. I went on El Campo on them show the other day and spoke to them about staying on task with their stuff and not getting caught up in the nastiness. Because everybody, Jay-Z, one of his favorite lines of mine. A wise man once told me, "Don't argue with fools," because people from a distance can't tell who's who. And I'm not saying 050 and them is fools. That's not a shot at them. But I'm just saying we all get up here looking and arguing who's going to have the credibility to lead in our communities. If we all come up here and look like buffoons and goofy dudes, and we all look like that up here, who's going to have the real credibility to be able to talk serious, sensitive, or serious topic when it comes to this type of stuff? We can't allow ourselves. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing about, we love entertainment. O'Shea thinks he's funny and me. He's definitely not. Girl, we love entertainment. We're going to laugh. We're going to have our lives. There's going to be a time for us to laugh and do that type of stuff too. But going back and forth and being looking like a little kid up here, nah, that's not us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be the men that we are, the community leaders that we are. We are leaders in our communities. You know what I mean? We helping people with jobs and we doing stuff. So we gotta always keep that at the forefront of everything that we are doing.
KK, what was that? What was that? You said you wanted to go back to that second question.
Yeah.
Which one?
Before we answer this one, Mikey had answered it, but then you started addressing.
You talking about the one that Mikael right here with China? This one?
No, one before.
No, we addressed that.
Oh, you talk about the one before that. All right, hold on. Let me go back to it right now.
El Campo, salute, man. What's up, man?
Salute, El Campo. What's happening, bro?
El Campo, shout out to everybody, man, that's tuned in, man. Everybody that's
Downtown, what up?
Yeah, I'm glad you had said that though too, Mikey, because hopefully like inshallah what we actually working on doing is actually trying to raise the bar with these other YouTubers, man, and they actually see that, because now you're projecting an image. You know what I'm saying? That people and it's like, build brands. You know what I'm saying? You want to build something in front of help your family, but also then we talking about the culture and the people. So when you come on these particular platforms, even if you don't want to, you are representing people, you representing the culture and the people. Even if you don't want to, you are. I mean, that's just the way things are. You put yourself on a public platform like this, where any and everybody can see you from all over the world. I mean, they got a YouTube phone, they punch it up, oh, hey, and they see it, and they get a image or perception of an entire people based off that. So, have a little more class, man.
So this question here, are the 050 good companions? That's a real question. Are they good for us? Period. I say no, never they're all about discord. Well, I mean, and again, thank you for your question and stuff like that. So, the thing about companionship is that, again, we're speaking generally, but thank you for your question being getting specific with 050's good companions, right? We have to be able to, we have to honestly be able to say to ourselves, are we, hey, El Campo, shout it out, bro.
Compo, peace and blessings,
Peace
bro.
and
How you
blessings
feeling?
to you, bro. How you doing?
You got something else on, Capo?
Yeah, you gotta mute, mute whatever else you got on.
So when we ask the question, are they good companions? That's not a question that we can ask. We can answer. They have to ask themselves that question. So I can only speak to Mikey and KK and the people who are in my life who I define as my companions. So just so you know, right?
Salute, Bucks.
On any given day, I don't have more than 2 people in my life as my companions, right? And I mean, excuse me, 3 people in my life more than my companions, and 2 of them are sitting here, and another one is my wife, right? I mean,
That's right.
and then I go to work, I go to work, right? Then I mean, obviously my brother Abdul Khabir, but outside of that, right? I don't have what's defined as those type of companions. Now, are there more within my circle who I can? Of course, we do know that on any
You forgot
given
G?
day.
I just left bro here.
So,
You
so I
forgot
think,
Gregory?
huh? Yeah. No, that's why I said, because me and G, I spoke to him yesterday. We speak to each other like literally all the time. You know what I mean? So now when you start talking about beyond that, of course there are obviously more companions, and but we've been through tests in life. Like we've known each other literally. I mean, I'm 44 years old. We've known each other for literally 38 years, right? You know what I mean? Like our entire lives.
Blessings, my brother.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So we're like day ones for real. So I think it's important that those questions right there, Mikhail 16, again, we appreciate that. I can't ask whether or not they're good for us. We as a community overall, we have to have a set of standards and values as a people, to KK's point. What are the images that we're projecting and we're propagating over the airwaves? How are we being perceived? Remember, most of us are from New York City. Most of us are from the East Coast, right? But we all have platforms that images are being projected over the globe. So how are we as a people being looked at overall? That's the question, right? Are our companions, can we honestly say our companions have been beneficial for us, right? As companions, and are we as companions projecting a positive image to the world, right? Because when Mikey B, KK, and I, we go out into the world doing the work that we do, we have to go out in our own individual selves, but then I'm still going to be connected to them because we locked in, right? So we still have to project a particular image, and that image has to be a certain way. If that image is inconsistent with the WeLockedN brand, I didn't have to say, all right, well, what's going on here? KK has to say, yo, Mo, what's going on here? We got to hold ourselves to account, because we can't let our or lack of companionship define or for whatever reason skew our way of thinking in terms of what true companionship is. That's Mr. Bucks.
Yeah, what
Yes,
up, Bucks?
sir. Yes, sir. How you doing, big bros? On the panel. Salute to everybody on the panel.
Yo,
Y'all
salute,
already
bro.
know.
Before
How
we
you
get
been?
into it, we love having everybody up here, the town hall vibe. We love that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's invited. Hit the link. You official come up here.
Right.
El Campo, AP. I know what y'all going through. I see it's war. Not as
Nah,
white, bro. Not as
nah.
white.
Big.
Hold on, bro. Give me 1 minute, Buck. Not as white, bro.
I mean, you see, at the end
Yo,
of the day,
listen.
I know.
understand stuff goes on, bro. But not as white, bro. You up here with us. This is the first time I got to talk to you since I seen y'all live. Y'all know I'll be tapping into y'all. I like some of the funny stuff y'all doing. Y'all go back and forth. But it gotta be something like Moshe and KK. We talk about our shows and how we're gonna come at perspectives and doing stuff. And we know it's a slippery slope, right? This is what Moshe and KK like, yo, it's a slippery slope. Watch how we get into certain topics because y'all sliding, bro. Y'all sliding, bro. y'all were doing good at the beginning, and y'all let China get under y'all skin, and now y'all firing back, and y'all going lower and lower, bro.
Hold on, Mikey. What did I miss?
Nah, because they on their show, bro, and I'm just addressing it because he's up here right now. You heard?
Okay.
All right.
And it's not.
Facts.
He put homie's wife up there. They put another image with his wife, with China's wife, and then they put another image. We cannot do that, bro.
Right.
Yeah,
I respect everything you saying, big bro, but I'm tell you something. You already know.
If I mess with you, and we all public, and I'm only saying this in public because I got both of y'all phone numbers and I could have called y'all, right?
Right.
But y'all did it publicly, so I'm addressing to y'all public. Because y'all somewhat companion to our show. You are part of our YouTube community, right? And if we get y'all up here, we can't have y'all going around doing one thing and then y'all coming up here on Spiritual Sunday and trying to empower the people and doing another. So I gotta address somebody that's doing something about somebody's wife up here, bro. You can't do that.
Copy, and I respect that. You know, Dick, you know what I mean? You know, my thing is right. I'm not getting caught in between a middle or none, because for me it's not about a middle or none. This is what I'm gonna say, and this is how I want other people from the outside to just handle it, and it'd be a less look like it's a cat and mouse game. You dig? For one, first and foremost, like for me, the respect that I got for y'all bros, this is on y'all. This is a tool that I feel as though that, you know, me being who I am, and I'm older than probably all three of y'all, but the respect that I have for y'all with not knowing y'all physically, it means a lot to me. You dig what I mean? So let me get that out the way. I'm 050 bucks. Let's get to that. I stand on law. Now, my challenge to you guys is this. I'm not going to say a right or wrong or black and white. Let's get to it. Let's fix what we need to fix. Let's stop letting everybody else that come in from the outside looking in narrate our character, narrate our content, because it's our homie. At the end of the day, it's always going to be us, never them, right? I'm going to get to that. I'm going to stick to that. And yo, El Campo, homie, I watch you. I respect everything you do. You dig what I mean? You in China, at the end of the day, the only thing that I respect to hear from anybody is that at the end of the day, that's my bro. We ain't talking about him. I'm not talking about him. Whatever with me and him got going on, we got going on. Don't let nobody else come in between that, because out of all this shit, y'all the only two brothers that literally got love from the heart. Period. No one else could say nothing. No one else could even rebuttal that. That's on that one. Everything else, sword sharpens sword, is easy to say. My mom used to always tell me this, son, it's easy to get in some shit, but it's hard to tell to get out of it. You understand what I mean? So as me being a younger and y'all being my elder, like I will respect the fact that, yo, you know what? Let's not dig into what's going on. Let's dig into try to fix this, because it's not a problem. Everybody out for the same thing. Everybody's out to try to either give off mental nourishment. Everybody's either trying to get a bag to add on to that. So we all going the same way. Let's make it easier for us. No, we ain't gonna like how each other move. No, we ain't gonna like what each other do. No, we ain't gonna do none of that. But at the end of the day, what we can do is ride behind our brother, right or wrong. Let him know, listen, you wrong. That's the only thing we can do. You wrong. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna ride with that, and I'm gonna keep it moving.
But to keep it as a part of the show, that's what a good companion is gonna do. My brothers, KK and Moshe, when we start digging into certain things, or I start digging into certain perspectives, and they might check me like, nah, hold up. It's a slippery slope, bro. And I'm not.
But as a man, do you feel any kind of way about your brothers pulling you up?
You're not supposed to.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
I know they got my back in a real way. I know I really got their support. I know what kind of men they are. I know what kind of stand-up men I keep around me. So of course, and I'm just telling y'all, I'm just telling Ocampo that. You see what I'm saying? Because I had the pleasure to meet Ocampo. Moshe was with me out in Brooklyn. You see what I'm saying? We were out in Brooklyn when we were shooting the Biggie Baby video. But I'm just saying, regardless, y'all come up here and mess with us. We all mess with each other. So I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to correct something like that, bro. We cannot be doing stuff like that. You can't throw a dude wife up. And somebody in the comments said that China did it first. I don't know. I didn't see that. And if I had
Yeah,
the
and see,
opportunity,
that's another thing, big bro, that I want to say. So
yeah,
now, like, who are we to check one person, right? And they going back and forth with it.
listen, I'm just talking about El Campo is here now. I
Right.
don't know. Maybe y'all should be doing that on y'all end. Y'all should be doing it on y'all end. I'm just saying, as a community, because we are a community, bro. No matter how you look at it, we are a community, bro. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to tell homie, I'm not going to sit up here and have him on the platform as far as something like that. Dude just talking nasty and reckless about each other. Y'all can do that in entertainment, whatever y'all doing. I don't know if y'all calling each other behind the scenes, but I seen homie wife up here. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't, that don't sit well with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm
And
not.
see, like, and on my end, I only seen, I seen Wax AP.
Hold on, Bucks. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I see, and this goes back to what I was saying on Blow Dollars Network the other day. And I think a lot of times what happens is that y'all give us a little bit too much credit in terms of what we may have knowledge of or not. Like in this case, KK and myself, Mikey might know and he might inform us about something, or vice versa, right? But the reality was that I didn't even know anything about what was just brought to my attention. I'm sure KK probably had no knowledge of it as well. But now just us speaking in terms of companionship, I do think now that this raises the stakes and say, all right, somebody's wife is brought to the mix now. I don't even know the extent of this, but I can honestly say if that is the situation, I don't care who it's coming from. I think there's no question that that's crossing the line right now, right? And I mean, how has it gotten to this point where we're at that point where family members are literally a part of the equation now, right? And whoever's injecting that into the equation, I think that's inappropriate and it should be like literally checked. If these are your companions, being that we're talking about the topic of companionship, having the individuals having people in your corner who are doing things like this is not helpful, not only for that individual, but all of us, who are part of this community itself. I think we should be more wise and more intelligent in terms of decisions that we make. But more importantly, we should have people in our lives who are going to hold us to account and say, listen, don't do that right there, because that right there is a horrible move. It's just not a good move. It's not going to be right. It's not right. It shouldn't be done because it's inappropriate. And that's how we hold ourselves to account. If it's not being done, that's not to suggest that somehow this is not your companion, but it does speak volumes in terms of what type of companion you have in your life. Again, we spoke about some of the prophets and messengers. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said that, you are who you are with. You will eventually love who you are with. And if this is the type of culture, type of behavior that we are engaging in, then this is what ultimately is going to define who you are, whether or not. Because if you come up here, Bucks, and you say I'm this, I'm not, I'm this, I'm not, and Campo say, yo, I'm this, I'm not, I'm this, I'm not, then that right there defines who you are. But I'm letting you know that if Mikey and KK came up here and they did that and they said that this is who I'm saying, I ain't this no more. Y'all bugging. And they got the right to feel the same way about me, because now they know that we've literally crossed the line. It's like, yo, y'all wilding out. And they have that right to say that, because true companionship is also defined by being a leader within that relationship. And being leaders mean that we have to be firm with each other. And we have to hold each other to account. We can't engage in behavior that we all know would compromise the integrity of us as a community, as Black people in this country. We can't engage in behavior that promotes that type of stuff. We just can't do it. At some point, we have to come together and say, yo, listen, enough is enough.
And that's what I asked. That's my call out to the big bros. You know what I mean? Like, again, to me, when you got two people that's with the back and forth, it ain't no fixing that. Oh, he did this, he turned around, he did that. All right, cool. You know what? We ain't fixing that. But what we can fix is moving forward as a whole in the community. And we got people that we should tip our hat to and respect. You understand me? Let's get to that part, because that's what we losing a lot out here, is respect for one another, and forget what the path that the person in front of you took, and they might try to show you, don't go that same route. We forgetting that. You know what I mean? So again, all I ask is, niggas ain't gotta belittle themselves as a man and oh, I ain't got this to do it. Nah, listen, as a man and as just being who y'all are, you understand me? It shouldn't be nothing more or less to say, you know what? Let's not ignite. Let's not throw a flame. Let's not see the fire go higher. Let's dampen this fire because at the end of the day, we Voltron. We forming. For those who know, they know. We forming. We ain't got time to let one person make us look like buffooneries, and we got a chance to pull that person up and say, listen, at the end of the day, we out for the same thing. You run your show the way you run your show, but at the end of the day, let's speak for a whole. That person can still do his own thing. You know what I mean? He can still do his own thing over there. Y'all brothers still do what y'all do over there. This what makes us powerful, brothers. Y'all do what, look what's going on right now. Y'all able to do what y'all doing. They able to do what they doing. Capo is over there doing what they doing. What we arguing about? That's a success story. That's a success story, homie. So at the end of the day, the fun is over with. Let's get back to business. Let's do what we promoting that we doing. Whether it's in the community, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's behind closed doors, whether you praying. Let's start that now. Let's not keep talking about what we need to do. We got a problem within the home, within our community. Let's start by trying to fix that and move on. Period.
I agree with you, my brother. I totally agree with you, partly. I would like to say, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, Mo. Shout out to you, Mikey B. Shout out to you, KK. Manners and respect, my brother. I feel what you're saying, 100%. Bro, you know that nigga. I'm not making this about him. I hear that. That's why I sat and listened. It's a difference when you risk one of your brother's life. Understand? That's the equivalent if I'm saying, yo, Mo shit, KK over there talking about you, and you a real nigga knowing how it is over there, and KK go over there. Niggas actually risk. Bro, I could have never been here talking to y'all like that. For views, bro, I'm your bro. Nobody knows the bro like how I know the bro. You know, and look, I'm willing to mend. I'm a fucking man at the end of the day. I'm willing to mend. And when I got elders like my bro Mo and I listen to them, brother, I'm willing, bro. I'm willing. That will make me nothing else but a fucking participant. You think I want all this smoke with all this old shit, nigga? I don't with that. I'd rather for all of us to move as a movement. I want to support my bro Moshe. I want to support my bro Mikey B. I want to support KK. I want to support you. But you can't do whole shit to motherfuckers that you can't come up there and violate your bro on social media because he's sick and he's drinking. Mikey B, Moshe, y'all been around me, sipping and drinking, fucked up as a motherfucker. And what we did, bro, we had intellectual conversations, and I was fucked up. We always, come on, bro. You don't do that to your bro, yo.
China, what's up, man?
Yeah, nigga, you nigga, you.
Yo, what's good? What's
nigga,
good,
What's up,
man?
man? You in the
You
building,
don't
man? What's up, man?
salute to you, turkey bitch. You don't do that to
Yo, what did you
niggas.
just hold on for a second, bro. Hold on for a second. What you just say?
Huh?
What did you just say to him?
About what?
Just now. What did you just say to him?
I said salute to you, turkey bitch.
KK,
What?
that's how they talk to each other, KK.
That's how they talk to each other?
That's how they talk to each other. That's the
See, I
relationship
can't
they
tell me
have.
I can talk to this nigga.
See, but this is the relationship that
But
nobody
this is
don't
y'all
know
show,
Oh,
and I
Nobody
just
knows
want to
about.
say this.
Yo, KK, I appreciate that. That's my brother right there, man.
See, this is how they
Yeah.
talk to each other, man.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
man.
Like
This is crazy.
our
Man.
relationship
It's bugged out.
is different than YouTube and all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he allowed to talk to me the way he do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
all right, so
but
Shannon, I know you
I
gotta
want to know.
speak,
I want to
Shannon.
know. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you know, pass all the bullshit How the numbers been looking? It look like we've been doing good, man. I hope everybody been eating good, man.
Let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you this right here.
I love that, bro.
I'm gonna tell you this here.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. I want everybody to take their wives out, eat. You know what I'm saying? I should show this car I just bought. I want people to do that. You know,
that's what I would do.
Listen.
I would sit here and make my wife a motherfucking meal.
Listen, honestly speaking, I love you all. I always say that.
And we love you too.
Listen, they want to be entertained.
But how did
y'all get it?
Yo, check this out though. Let you hear this out. You always, and hold on. Let me just get to this first. That thighs locked in thing you put up, bro. How you gonna say our thighs are locked in, bro?
Yo,
yes, sir.
I'm not gonna laugh.
Let's talk about that.
So how the fuck you gonna do that?
Who came up with that?
Like you just want to violate all of us, man, nigga.
Listen, Mikey B.
Thighs locked in.
Mikey B, you gotta listen.
Who came up with that, bro?
You gotta listen.
Who came up with thighs locked in?
See, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Mikey B, y'all just entered this world of confusion. You got to know how to navigate through this shit.
And we've been in the world of confusion. You know, we was in South for 50 years. We know
the real world.
See, the thing is,
we know the drill, bro.
The thing is, what y'all going through right now and what y'all seeing is how I felt when I first came home and they showed me the internet. And I had to obey by the internet rules. And I gotta play the game that the internet plays.
Yeah, you don't play the game by doing your motherfucking homie like how you did me.
Yeah, that's not.
You don't do that to me and my nigga.
You wanna know something?
But I love you.
A lot of shit, I be dead ass serious. In El Campa, I love you. But when that time do come, when you see me face to face, it's gonna be a headlock, arm, feet, the legs. You know that.
Nigga, you already know we gonna
I love you, and then I'ma pop a bottle.
Yo, China, look.
And then I'ma pop a bottle, and then we gonna go on with our day.
You already know we gonna shake the room,
in, right? Y'all helped us the whole way through, right? This is not something we always admitted this. How did Hassan come over here and kill everything?
No,
he didn't. I wanna tell you something.
Hassan is like Godzilla.
Mikey B
came through here and just ravaged the whole village, and everybody been arguing. Listen, if we go
China
back,
did that on. Listen, China is strategic, Mikey.
No, listen.
He knew that was his way.
If we go back,
you wanna know something? You wanna know something, Moshe?
Everybody was cool before Hassan Campbell came over.
Listen. And he Hassan Campbell been in this game for over 8 years. He know how to play. He know how to play niggas. He know what he do. The only reason Hassan came up here on y'all platform because he knew China, the 050 movement, 10 Toes, Shanetta, it was gonna hit our veins. He played this card right. This ain't the first channel he did that to.
No,
just that y'all didn't. It's just that y'all didn't know about it.
Channels, right?
Listen, Mikey B. It's just that y'all didn't know the games that's played on
but
here.
He been on your channel. He been on. I seen him on other people's channels.
You wanna no. You wanna know? He been on my channel when I first came to YouTube. Before I knew.
You know, Bullis Gotti and Roski in them channels too.
That's they man.
I know, but I'm just saying. Saying all the channels he has been on.
I'm gonna tell you something. Yo, Mikey B. I had to really go back.
Mikey
years of watching shows to find out what's really going on. This internet shit, sorry to say, it's pick sides. However you put it. However you want to put it.
Ain't no pick sides on this.
It's too much old. It's too much old problems that's going on. Niggas got beef from shows years ago. This Shanetta, 10 Toes, Wag Dog, son, this is a family. It's family problems, shit that happened, homie, other than YouTube.
I don't know none of them. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know.
Thank
other
you.
guys you just mentioned, I don't know none of them.
Thank you. I just put on. And then when I came to the YouTube, me and Hassan got into it. And people, I'm just gonna let y'all know. Majority, me, Hassan, and all of us, it wasn't all about YouTube. Like, we called each other. I got Hassan number still on my phone. I could call Hassan if I want. Like, it's bigger than YouTube. We used to stay on the phone talking. Hassan taught me on some real shit how to be a motherfucking clout chaser, nigga. How to get your numbers up. Hassan taught Bullets Gotti how to do it. Hassan used, I was on the phone where Hassan told Bullets Gotti to try to porn bomb certain nigga shit. This is a fact. Like, these is things that y'all don't know about that we sat on the phone conversating, yo, Hassan, yo, talk about what's name so we can make a show on. This is the shit that goes on that y'all don't know about.
I'm not in this YouTube world like that, so
you know
I
what I'm
wouldn't know
saying?
too much.
It's a lot of behind the scenes shit. And pardon me, because y'all just came in this, that y'all don't know about. Y'all do not know about. That's why everybody hated the fact, because I came in blind. And then when we did a show with Hassan, if you look at the show, what the first thing Hassan said? Nigga, pick sides. Hassan told us on the show, 050, pick sides.
Like, I mean,
look at the show. Did y'all see the show? Nah. The Clash of the Titans with 10 toes?
Nah, yeah, I seen it. I probably seen it.
All right, and what Hassan said, just go back, look at the show, and what did he say? He said, China, y'all don't know this shit. You have to pick sides. Hassan infiltrate other niggas' show to cause commotion. Niggas who know about this.
So
listen.
Right, let me get this straight.
Go ahead.
Everybody else has a pick sides, but he doesn't. What is he? YouTube God.
Nah, that's
like,
listen, I'm gonna keep
yo, hey, Mikey B, this is y'all show, so I gotta be humble. What I got the freak to say, I have to use.
What is he talking about? Nobody ain't saying
no,
nothing.
no, chill, no, chill out, nigga. Nobody talking to you. Shut the fuck up.
But you shut the fuck up.
We talk about what I want to say about what you was relating on, and I want to say it. I'm gonna let y'all talk because I don't want to get
talking about.
Because I want to say some shit, but I'm on y'all show and I know y'all some conscious brothers. So I'm gonna show y'all manners and respect. Go ahead, broski. Finish talk.
Yeah, so say it. Preferably, it would be wise to say it on your show. You have a show, and whatever you want to say, Ocampo, just say it on your show. But trying to get what you were saying, bro.
That's right, my brother.
Yeah, homie, I'm on.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Whole momentum up. I don't understand.
No, I didn't, bro. Be good, bro.
No. Hold on, El Campo. You know, so I think for us, right? You're right, China. So we are green about this whole process.
Yo, this
right?
shit is.
And I respect it. I respect it. But I think for us, right, what happened for us was that we was looked at as being the disloyal ones when we didn't let you on, and then when you did. So we was like looked at it like the reason we didn't let you on was because the night before the day before that you had already told Roski, you know, SMD. So then we were in the position like why would we didn't let you on because we didn't know if whether or not you was gonna do the same thing with Hassan. And I would think
Moshe, I'm gonna be honest with you. Come on, y'all been behind the walls, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all niggas who could see through the bullshit. That's what everybody's saying. Like, y'all know, come on, Roski, Bullets Gotti. Like, I understand y'all don't know the history. Y'all don't know that this is a whole nother game y'all playing.
Yeah, but, hey, yo, China, you know what it is as well. I had this, and I tell Mikey and Moshe how I be feeling. So how I am, right? The back and forth that y'all get into, like on these channels, even though we may know that it's BS and dudes is blah blah. Me, I can't handle stuff like that, so I shut up.
And we respect everybody. You know say that. We respect that.
Bro, I don't even.
Yeah.
like, so I don't even like getting involved in it and saying it, and we want to try to keep things a certain type of thing, because when the dudes start that, it's like, all right, forget all of this channel stuff, forget all this stuff. When I see you, I'm gonna see you, and that's that. But just to keep that mentality out of there, because dudes is trying to elevate and bring everybody else up, everybody else up as well.
All right,
so this is why we trying to curb some of that.
If we trying to fix the solution, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be the bigger man today. I'm not saying I'm bigger than all of y'all or anything. I'm just gonna be, because I noticed something. If you see my show today, and I spoke to a lot of people behind the scenes, CK. I got a lot of niggas. You see, I just had Jeezy on my platform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just had Jeezy on my platform. I got a lot of niggas in the back who's not playing with these niggas and who know who is who.
Yeah.
So niggas said, China, listen, be the fullback and just get everything. And we're gonna see who really need content, who really need to talk about China, who really need right now. I say it on WeLockedN. As a man, I'm sorry for putting that narrative, because y'all didn't know about the background of this YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry for putting y'all involved in that. As a man, I'm able to say that, and I don't care what anybody say.
I appreciate you saying that.
050 the movement don't have no issues with WeLockedN.
You never supposed to have an issue, bro.
And I apologize on anything on my side that made y'all offended. I apologize. Now, with the other platforms, with the other platforms, you want to know something? We are sorry.
I just want to know this.
And we just hopefully starting from right now, all the dislikes, if you dislike me, shit was said, we can still respect each other and stay away from each other. That's still
don't speak, because it's either look.
I got an important question, bro.
I love that.
And how was thighs locked in? I still ain't. How is thighs locked in?
Yo, Mikey B.
That's like an
Mikey B. Mikey B, you supposed to rant with that. And went viral.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Yo, this is crazy, right? So I'm sitting here listening, but we know this, China. But the only thing is, let me tell you something. Mikey knows this. KK and I knows this. Me and KK be the ones be like, nope, we not doing it. We not doing it.
Nah. Yo, I'm gonna keep it real. The reason why, like, I probably do a lot of dumb shit, but I love this social media shit. It became a part of my life. I'm keeping it real. So my main thing, when we did come up, because we did
so much dumb shit that you
me and Harlem Legend, I'm gonna keep it real. Platinum love y'all niggas.
We love Platinum.
Platinum love y'all. And he like, yo, Platinum telling me, Platinum telling me, China, don't do it. You mad right now. I'm like, man, listen.
Yo, we love Platinum. That's facts. I love Platinum. That's facts.
Yeah. I'm like, but my madness was, I do shit, but I still want niggas to eat. You know how happy when I woke up this morning and I seen Waxing LP with 2.3 viewers. Look what I done did. Look what China. That I'm proud of myself.
I be tuned into them, but I think like the white.
She didn't do nothing.
Yes, I did, motherfucker.
Hold on, look. You let us to that door, so I do give you your hand. I am going to give you. Look, you let us to that door, so I'm going to give you your flowers. Fuck.
Yo,
I'm a man.
But that's
I'm going to give you your flowers.
But that's on my kids. I said
that's street rules. That's law. That's law, Bucks.
But that's on my kids. I said
no women, no kids. No women, no kids. That's law.
Basically.
That's law, Bucks, right?
That's a fact.
No women, no kids. Come on, bro. No women, no kids. That's law, bro.
That's a fact. But again, what I was saying, when you got two of them, like I said, who are we to say you're China? That was foul. Who are we to say Wax? That was foul. They both did it. They both took their shot. Sword chopping sword. Now we here right now. Like at the end of the day, that right there should have been off limits. again, if we chasing content, we gotta get what we gotta get. We gotta do what we gotta do to get to that content. If that's how you want it, that's how you want it. We gonna still salute you.
Bucks. Hold on, Bucks. Are we saying? Is China saying? Are you saying? Is the only way to get to the bag is that we have to do
Not
this?
at all. No, not at all. Nah, I just said that earlier.
Nah. I'm gonna keep it real.
You ain't gotta go that way. Look what y'all brothers doing. Y'all ain't up here talking crazy and going bananas, and y'all still getting y'all numbers. Look what China doing. He doing what he doing. The homie still getting his numbers. El Capo and them, they still getting their numbers. All this form from Voltron, homie. So at the end of the day, everybody's gonna do, and this what makes it so sexy, man. It makes it sexy. Look what's going on in the YouTube world. You tell me anything that's out of side what we got going on, the 050 umbrella, however you want to call it. You look outside of that. Who doing what, man? Let's just get to that. Who doing what? Now, it don't matter how they doing it, but they doing it. Look what brothers is doing, man.
Yo, you see this right in front of y'all?
Yeah, read that right there. Read that right there, Bucks.
You know what? Read that, Bucks. Or anybody can read it.
Yeah, somebody read that shit. I'm blind as well.
What's that? Mikey B.
All this
gang
trash
for viewers, and you supposed to be the first general. Damn, it's sad, man. I don't want to read the rest of it. Let me tell you something, Mikey B. Hold on, bro. Can I just say one thing, bro? If that was the comment
you want to know something? Yo, can y'all please give me 1 minute? Dudes like that, like I've been on YouTube for a long time. Some of these names you can't pay attention to. They destructive.
It's a troll. Let me tell you something.
They trolls. Y'all gotta realize.
I understand.
They cause confusion.
They not doing my brother Moshe and Mike.
They got a job. They got a job to do.
I understand, and we got a job. All that stuff that they put in there is good for us because it's the echoes of the stuff that we doing. So when they say that type of stuff, when you see certain stuff, that's energy.
Facts.
That's energy to show that we up here talking and communicating like human beings, and this is what the youth need to see.
Yo, they hate it.
Shit.
You know how many people hate right now? You know how much hate you got right now?
Cause y'all killing their content right now, homie. Right now, be shutting everybody content down.
You know how many
content is getting shut down.
Yo, guess what?
You know how many people
real content.
Facts.
They can't come up here and throw 80,000 francs for 2 hours. You heard?
Well, you know, the sad thing is this. I'm gonna be honest with you. China is right. He's right that this is what sells, right? And China, we're faced with this every other day. We sit down, we strategize. Mikey B and KK and I, we figure out what content are we gonna push out this week, today, that we think is gonna be beneficial, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you. The question is always asked whether or not we believe that we're sliding away from what our mission statement is. I'm the one, and with my brothers are always the ones where we gotta wrestle with that, because anytime I feel like it's a slippery slope, we don't really care too much about the views and stuff like that. I think more so than the fact that we talk about, we just want to come up here with a message. We want to stay out of all of the stuff. We prefer to stay out of everything and just come with a message. So a lot of times we be blindsided.
But sometimes, see, the mistake is, Moshe, give me a second. The mistake is you can't like 050. Y'all know we with the fuckery. I'm not gonna lie about it, but I'm not gonna invade We Locked In or come on a platform with y'all if it's all about peace and I'm with the fuckery. I'm not with that. I know how to play my position. Now it's dudes. You can't allow dudes who with the fuckery on. This is the thing. You can't play both sides. Shout out to Saladin. I love Saladin. But
you can't tell people what to do on their platform, bro.
What the fuck is you talking about? Ain't nobody telling them what to. Shut the few drunk niggas. Shut the fuck up. Dumbass drunk.
You lucky we on these niggas show.
Nigga about to pass out. He about to pass out.
Yeah, I'm about to pass out.
Yo, hear me out.
I want to jump through the screen and choke the shit out.
I understand what you're saying about picking sides, but right? But that's only with guys where that stuff counts at. That doesn't count to us. we understand what people saying,
but
if we interview, y'all held interviews, right?
I understand what you're saying.
Y'all interviews with all kind of characters, with all kind of dudes. Either people like the content or they don't. When we interview people, we're gonna interview all kind of people who like the content or you don't. Sometimes you'll be able to pull up, sometimes you won't. This is what we say before we have a show. If we're gonna let people up, me, KK, and Moshe, we know. Sometimes we're not gonna let people up. Sometimes people come in our studio, and sometimes you're not able to come in the studio. Sometimes
that's just like now.
Malik is only in the chat sometimes for KK. He has a problem with
Mikey B.
But understand
but Mikey B, you gotta look at it, right? When dudes try to pop up on my platform, when they see the platform is hitting, those is the dudes I don't let on the platform. Because those is the dudes who support the bullshit. Support everything around the platform. Why you think people be so mad at 050? Because even when we on a positive note, if you ain't there, you ain't gonna be there on a fuckery note. We ain't pulling you up. That's just the way how I give it up. I try to be as fair, even with the bullshit.
Nigga, no, when you with the bullshit, you supposed to pull every and anybody up. You don't let nobody don't pull up.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull you up. I'm gonna pull your drunk ass up by yourself on the 050.
And you know what they do? You know what you do when they pull up and they talk their shit? You violate them. Who the fuck, nigga? Excuse me, my brothers. Excuse me, brother Moshe and Michael B. Talk to this motherfucker.
Hit that like button.
Talk to this
If y'all haven't subscribed to WeLockedN, make sure y'all subscribe. You got 050 up here. Make sure y'all go subscribe to him, like them. Doquan Bucks. We got El Campo, Wax AP. They got a show. Make sure y'all subscribe, like. Make sure y'all viewing. But
only thing I ask, what's the foundation of this, Moshe?
So the conversation we was talking about, my brother, we was talking about companionship.
Now I'm talking about we're gonna knock all the bullshit because all the companionship is out the window now. Since the 050 was up here. We want to know.
He's talking about
know what's gonna be the rhythm. We're gonna be the rhythm of these dynamic podcasters now. Like what we settled out is when people go to their shit when the 050 is we still gonna make little riddle stories or I want to know. I just what I'm saying because
I would do what you want to do on your podcast. That's why it's called the 050 the movement.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, bro. I mean,
So what you listen? It's either you with the shits. Moshe, come on. It's either niggas with it or they ain't with it.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else. I know WeLockedN.
I'm with the positive movement over here.
I don't know.
We always China. Moshe, WeLockedN.
Hit my phone.
Right?
Out here. Yo, 050 put the white flag up. You know, we love y'all brothers, man.
We love y'all back.
Is that a wolf in a sheep's clothing flag?
Nah. Yo, I said it today. First of all, WeLockedN. I would never that shit. I'm honest with y'all. Like y'all, I'm just asking for the other podcast.
Ain't nobody looting no more. Everybody doing big things now.
I see that. You got
everybody
a big bottle. I see that. You're
not the only one.
I see that. You got a big bottle of Jack Daniels now.
It don't make a difference. Guess what? I can sit up here and come up on my show and they can pull me up and I can have man's respect. But what I ain't gonna do, ain't no motherfucker gonna job me no way. You know how to fuck, nigga.
Hey, yo, we moving on from that though, bro.
Fuck you.
Yo, we like
no disrespect to
we always like the community vibe, and we're talking about companionship.
Manners and respect.
Dude, not companions in general.
117
and who are the companions? You, China, and El Campo, really, y'all got the longest running relationship on the show.
I can't tell me in this job turkey nothing. This job turkey bitch. Excuse my profanity.
That's real good.
Yo, Mo, go ahead, Mo.
Yo, listen, man. So today's conversation was about companionship.
You know he's gonna talk about y'all later.
The funny thing, the thing I like about this is that El Campo and China was more or less companions, right? And then now all of a sudden they're not companions. The whole what I like about this whole YouTube thing is everybody at some point was companions of each other. But once individuals realized that money could be made once we were at odds, I said this from the beginning. YouTube is freaking strategic because it's pitting us at each other. It's making us all feel like we gotta go to war with each other just to get some money. And I always tell this to Mikey and KK that I feel like our content, no matter what, is going to sell no matter what because the information we putting out there. I don't care if we get 200 views, 1,000 views, 100,000 views, 1,000 views. The information we putting out, if it can help change your life, then that's really most important. Who cares about $1 that YouTube is paying us? That stuff don't mean nothing because outside of that, we getting money anyway. Everybody up here, I'm sure, is making money anyway outside of YouTube, right? So,
that's a fact.
You dig what I'm saying? So I just feel like for us as WeLockedN, we never had to get involved in any of that because our mission was from the beginning was trying to tell people, man, like, listen, this is a message we want to give you guys that's from our experiences. If you gain something from it, good. Take it on your journey, pass it on to others. If not, then you then throw it away. But I just never felt like we had to get our hands dirty with all this YouTube stuff because I just don't like how these corporations are using us as a people, manipulating the situation just to see, it's like that Love and Hip Hop type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's we get checks in the background, we fight each other, and I'm like, I don't want to be controlled by these corporations. That's not really for our best interest. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be sitting up here acting like a fool because just for the sake of doing so. I just don't feel like it's important. So in terms of companionship, I would prefer to be around individuals who I know are not going to allow themselves to be compromised by these corporations. Because I kind of feel like we turned into a bunch of freaking whores just being smutted out over some dollars. And it's like...
I could agree with you.
Nah.
And guess what, Mo? Guess what, Mo? This money don't mean nothing. Listen, show, nigga. Nobody not listening to you. Mo, I couldn't agree with you.
This motherfucker, boy. This
agree with you.
Boy.
Yeah, it's not your show, nigga. You can't tell me nothing. I kind of agree with you, Mo. And I would wish that we could all come together. And we could all, and I would love to keep coming to your show and come chilling with my brothers. I even want to, you know what? I even want me and my bro, because y'all not understanding. I fucking arguing with this nigga in the goddamn on this shit, and I'm out there partying with his goddamn family, drinking, getting fucked up. This shit is crazy, bro. I don't want this shit, nigga. I'm a man at the end of the day. Nobody can tell me nothing, nigga. I don't want us as brothers, period. Point blank fucking period. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this whole YouTube shit no more now.
El Campo.
Now, motherfucker, after this nigga is gonna be fucking
El Campo. El Campo.
I'm listening to you.
Do you love me? Do you love
fucking
China?
Course I love you, you stupid.
You's a bitch ass nigga.
Can I say what I want to say? You stupid bitch. Fuck you. But I love the fucking shit.
All right, man. Listen, so we're going to have to close out, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. China, thank you for pulling up. El Campo, Daquan Bucks. Thank you for the wisdom that you gave us, y'all, man. Thank you for letting us know about these evil YouTube streets.
Yo, I love my boy. Yo, I love him. I love him. That's my boy. But I had to go viral on him for a second.
Yo, thank y'all, man. Yo, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all, man. Mikey B, KK. Listen, man, for the lesson for today, make sure y'all choose y'all companions wisely, man. Listen, if y'all learn anything,
yo,
choose your companions wisely, man. Please, man.
Yo, Moshe and y'all, man. Mikey B,
what's up,
KK. Man? I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, man.
And that's my word. El Campo, you know I love you, nigga, but I'm still gonna put you in a headlock, man.
Yo,
Bucks, you already know everything. Greek! 050's the movement.
Right back. You already.
We locked in.
Hey, yo, Mikey B, Moshe, KK. Hey, yo, my brothers. You see how easy that was, man? Yo, y'all did a hell of a job today, man. I salute everything y'all stand on, man. You understand what I mean? That shit right there, that's content. That's content without making it up. We spoke that into existence. Now let's take this torch and let's keep doing what we're doing And I want to piggyback off y'all. I got a lot to offer, man. I want to get with y'all behind closed doors because I feel as though I can, I can bring, somewhat some things to the table. So, on another note, when we get to that, I got your line, Mikey B. Yo, salute from my heart
Salute,
to
bro.
yours, man. Good looking.
Yes, sir.
Right, man. Take care, bro. Thank you, bro.
Yo, check it out, y'all.
Yeah, it was
So
one of
before we
the
close out, man,
things I wanted to say.
Let's do a quick recap because that
Yeah,
was
one of the things
just
I wanted to say though, for the recap, there was one thing I wanted to say.
Nicolina Rainbow,
Because
thank you.
loyalty kept popping into my mind, right? Just hearing a lot of the conversations, bro. And what I was seeing was that people are a lot of times loyal to the wrong things, bro. And this can mess up friendships, companionship, and all that by being loyal to the wrong thing. You're loyal to just an individual, or just to earning some money, or just for likes, or whatever, instead of being loyal to actual principles and characteristics of certain things. Those are things you're supposed to be loyal to. I mean, having honor and integrity, having respect, having those particular things by any means what. So now, being loyal to those particular things actually allows you to choose better companions. Because now it's like if a person is not standing on that same thing that you're loyal to, then there's no reason we even need to coexist. Like you said, we can be friends, we can go. I'm over here, you over there.
I'm gonna be honest. Being that we're on our way out, I see that I see. So China, I mean, they pretty much, and I respect China for giving us the wisdom of what's going on with this space that we're living in. But I think ultimately the question for us is whether or not we want to allow ourselves to get involved in this culture where it's the entertainment part of YouTube, or whether or not we want to put forth a message to the people out there that we think they can gain benefit from. Remember, we're Muslims, right? So, Mikey's, adheres to the fact that, he's Rasta. So we're living on a different set of principles. So yes, we have a gang past where we were involved in this lifestyle, but today, the men who we are today, like we're no longer a part of that lifestyle, one, and we're not a part of a culture that is allowing for the exploitation of our people. In regards to being the revolutionaries that we were in our eras, and we were known individuals who were fighting against oppression, we can't then now become a part of a culture and a lifestyle, right? And then say, we're going to allow for the exploiter to exploit us further at the expense of our people and our youth who gravitate to these channels to listen to a much bigger message. Remember, this technology and everything is being controlled by these airwaves. So if we're on these airwaves promoting a culture and a lifestyle where they don't have the ability to be able to distinguish and differentiate between what's real or not, the information that's being put out there, individuals is putting their wives up here, people's wives up here, individuals is inviting people to their private parts, individuals is, it looked like people are getting jumped on. I'm hearing threats. So this stuff is making it appear secrets are going out. People are talking about what happened in 98, what happened 10 years ago. Bro, we are talking about entertainment, our real lives, what we lived, and the destruction of our people has become entertainment. So we can't even identify and represent that this is destructive behavior because we become so desensitized to this. And I think that is much more harmful, that at the end of the day, that as Muslims, as people who are striving to live their lives a certain way, we got to always uphold the best principles and values, and we got to be the leaders, bro. We can't fall victim to this culture, because if we do that, then our deen is lost. We already know what that's going to lead us to, but we're going to be done. We're going to be done. We'll be done.
Before we slide, man, before we get out of here, man, this is what we about. Reuniting people in our community, doing the right thing in a given situation. It's always going to be situations that come to you. Like I spoke to those brothers on Wax, AP, El Campo on their channel. Situations going to come to you is how you respond to them. And our response is always going to be one that's empowering to our people, to our community, and one it's going to always come from a position of what? Humbleness, unity, peace, justice, clarity, and this is what we rolling with at WeLockedN. This is the content you're gonna get here. We're not gonna be liked by everybody. Everybody's not gonna like the people that we bring up here. We expect that. We respect people's opinion on that. You got your opinion. If you don't got a platform or not, if you got a comment in the chat, we like all comments that's coming from. But we're not gonna always move in a way that y'all think we're gonna move. Let me tell you something. A lot of people said when we didn't beef, they expected us to come back. They expect you to sound like a thug or to sound a certain way on YouTube. If you're looking at to come from us, you're not going to get that. Because really, we changed our lives. We out here, we working men. We're husbands and fathers and brothers. We're teachers. And we got a lot of kids that we talk to. We have a lot of children that we talk to on a daily basis at our job. So we cannot come up here from a certain perspective and do certain things. We're not going to be the goofy guys up here. We might laugh and joke. Entertainment is good. We love it. We're going to smile. We're going to have our jokes. But we're not going to be the goofy bozos that you used to on YouTube. We're not going to be those guys. We're not going to, if you're looking for 1,000 francs, you're not going to get them here. You're not going to get them. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to be the clowns. We're not going to be the YouTube clowns. The Sambos, give me some better words.
The Jeff Rose, the shoe shuffling Jeff Rose, and
that's gonna kick our community down and be the guy that's only talking about destroying our own people, and we're not gonna be those guys. We're gonna be the empower. We're here to empower our peoples. We're here to learn and teach what we know and help brothers get through situations when we can.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, man, I mean, and that's what I was saying before. Like, I mean, this whole thing is motivated by views, and we spoke about YouTube friends, YouTube companions, and like, I mean, are we at a point where the more views you got? I mean, the fact of the matter is that you're gonna get a check, but I mean, to what extent does that have to do with? I mean, look, I'm not an actor. I'm not coming up on YouTube. I'm not acting. I'm not putting up an image, acting like I'm somebody that I'm not. But I think that this space that we're in, it does. I mean, we are green about it. We don't have knowledge about a lot of stuff that's going on, and I think that speaks volumes. That I'm kind of glad that that's being spoken at. Y'all don't know what's going on. To China's point, and I love the fact that China can admit that. And China, I love you for that. Thank you for that, because you know what? We probably are green for that. We spent over 20-some years together in prison. We don't really know about this process. And you know what? That may be a law protecting us from the harms of all that stuff that's going on, because we don't know about that. Maybe if we did know more about it, we probably would be more deeper in it. But some reason the law is protecting us from being deeply enmeshed in this freaking buffoonery. So I'm kind of thankful for that, right? That we don't even know nothing about that. I'm glad of that. And that's a law's mercy, man. So I'm thankful, man.
Ain't good money.
Look, like right now, they in the chat. They fighting in the chat. This is what I'm saying. All this is a movie. This is a movie going on.
Bang on the illiteracy among our youth. That's
exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would prefer New Black World Order. I would prefer that we have a conversation about kids who come into our programs who can't read and write. You dig what I'm saying? Right. So I think that this is more why use these platforms to fight each other over stupidity when we can talk about really banging on issues that really need to be discussed. So this what makes me think that the facts that we don't get the views that we should get is because YouTube would rather it be about individuals going at each other where we're not really addressing the serious issues in our community. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this right here it's a learning lesson for us all. But if you are in the company of individuals who all they are about is getting money and doing anything just for the sake of doing it, then maybe therein lies the problem.
Mills is funny. Mills is trying to get us on. He promoting that.
What happened?
Nah, Mills in the chat. He promoting that. We locked in at 8. Anybody pull up? Listen, we not going though. I don't know if we're gonna pull up at 8. I don't know, man. Mills is saying that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Mills gonna be our spokesperson or not. But
but I
seeing
do
the
know
people
one
that
thing.
what they banging on illiteracy,
I
banging
do
on
know one
police
thing.
brutality, banging on what's actually going on in these neighborhoods. I like that these is coming up in the chat. These are what they saying they banging on.
I do know one thing. You will be judged by the company you keep. So keep that in mind. You know, if you individuals out there prefer to hang with individuals that are not in your best interest, at some point there is an expiration date on everything that we do. One day we're all going to be dead, right? Everybody in the chat, all of us who are here, we will all die one day. So I don't care what you are involved in, it all has an expiration date to it. And then we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and ask ourselves if we are content and satisfied with how we've been living our lives. Don't let years and years and years and years and years, you know, pass on by when you wasted time on these platforms and you haven't really made any significant changes in your life. Yeah, you might have a few more outfits in the closet. You know what I mean? You might have a little bit more cereal in your refrigerator, you know, some more juice and everything like that. But internally, you lose your soul in the process. So we got to be very mindful of selling our soul for peanuts, man. Yo, listen, man. If y'all tuned in for the first time for We Locked In, man, you know, we came here discussing companionship. I think it was a great conversation. I know some of our subscribers in the chat, you know, you guys commented about how disappointed you were that China was brought on and Daquan Bucks and El Campo was brought on. Let me tell you something about that, man.
We did good with that though. We squashed that beef. They got a little
we got
time a little talk it out and show that we still united and that we still together. I think we did good. Good.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I think we did a great job because what happens a lot of times, although we're building, sometimes in order to build, you have to destroy. So yeah, these individuals, they came on to enlighten us regarding the culture, the nuances of what was the going ons and what takes place behind the scenes in YouTube that we have no knowledge of. And I think that is good for context. All right. And we put things in context. It allows us an opportunity to make the point that we're making of companionship even much more official. And it's not that we went off course. It's just that we needed to have them on that space for a reason. One, it showed the people that we can reconcile with China because there was the perception that there was some bad blood between us and China. That's not the case. With China and El Campo, they have a relationship that we probably don't know about. It's probably much more intensive than any of us would have knowledge of. They talk to each other any way that they want. That's their relationship. They grew up together. We don't know the extent of their relationship, right? But is it toxic? Yeah, it's toxic. All right. But I think that it's necessary so that we can kind of put things into perspective and hopefully it can teach us all a lesson. But again, the conversation is, who are your companions? Are these the type of individuals you want to have around you that just talk? If I woke up and I say, "What's up, Mikey?" and I was just disrespectful to him, would he respect that? Would he allow that? I think it's very, very, very childish that we have these type of people around us who are not really respecting us. But it's a lot, man. It's a lot, man. We went through a lot, my brother. I know, you know, we got a whole bunch to say. I love you. I love y'all brothers, man.
Let me get one thing off. Yo, KK, you gotta say anything before we go?
Yeah, just remember before even finding, remember the thing about companionship, before even finding a good companion, make sure you find freedom in yourself. Make sure you find the particular things inside of you, those particular characteristics and things that you look for, right? Make sure you know what they actually are. Sometimes we can actually bring the wrong people into our lives based off a certain need that we don't even know. So just make sure of that, man. Make sure that thing. Find freedom in you.
Find the freedom in you. Yo, Moshe, let me just say one quick thing. I'm gonna let you close us out. You heard, Mo? Bringing China, El Campo, Daquan Bucks, all of them up here. We're gonna engage, just like we in our communities. We have to engage the things that's going on. We go and we talk to kids about violence that's doing violence. We gotta talk to them about trying to straighten things out. We gotta put everybody in a room to get these topics covered. It's not about views or clout, because sometimes we could have, if we wanted views or clout, we could have did that and let Hassan and China go at it forever. And I know if we let them go at it and argue and throw Franks and all that, the views probably would have went up to 500. So I know if we want to play the games of getting the views, we can. We're not here for that. But in order to get things done, we're going to have to engage everybody. We're going to have our platform open to talk to all people. If we don't, how can we not get to the bottom of things? How can we got to discuss these topics? And let me tell you something. Allah works in and God works and God works in ways that's gonna always help us. Look, we talked about companionship. We didn't plan for China and El Campo to come up here today. We didn't ask them to. We didn't call them. We didn't text them. We didn't. But guess what? Out of all of us in our community on YouTube, they have the longest running relationship that's on the rocks because of YouTube stuff. So who is better to have here and to have that conversation than people like that? Right? Who is better to have here on a day like this, speaking on the topic of companions and who you keeping around you? China Brim and El Campo know each other since childhood in the streets, arguing over YouTube beef. Who better? So it was great. I'm glad they pulled up. I hope their little interaction, even though it seemed toxic to us in their own language, I hope they were able to settle some of that. And I'm glad that we were able to assist them in that. And hopefully this is a wave throughout our whole community, and it helps bridge a lot of gaps, and guys can get off this nonsense and get back to real content. But go ahead, Mo.
Yo, thank y'all, my brothers, man. KK, to everybody that's been tuned in today, man, listening to us. Please, if this is your first time, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that when we go live, you get notified. And please, man, share this discussion with at least one person, because perhaps maybe they may gain benefit from it. To my brothers Mikey B and KK, man, my companions, my brothers who hold me to account daily, man. Thank y'all, man. I love y'all.
Love you too, bro.
I wish y'all nothing but success, man. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace to everybody that was in the chat that's been tuned in with us. We love y'all out there. Thank y'all, man. We locked in, man.
Peace.
Peace.